Well, welcome back here. We've got another story here. Biden warns of winter of death for unvaccinated as Omicron spreads. U.S. President Joe Biden warned Thursday of a winter of severe illness and death for those unvaccinated against COVID-19, as the G7 called the Omicron variant the biggest threat to public global health. The stark words came as Britain saw more than 88,000 of COVID infections, a second consecutive record daily number, prompting France to impose drastic new limits on travel to the UK. Scientists remain uncertain how dangerous the highly mutated Omicron variant is, but early data suggests that it can be more resistant to vaccines and is more transmissible than the Delta variant. And right here, this is the one area I'm going to stop and just... There's already data coming out of South Africa that they do want to ignore. And it appears so far to be much less deadly. So if it's much less deadly, how can there be a winter of severe illness and death? I mean, South Africa is I think 60% unvaccinated. According to this note, they should have been completely devastated. But moving on here. The World Health Organization said earlier this week that the strain has been reported in 77 countries and has probably spread to most nations undetected at a higher rate than any previous variant of the virus. The virus this one's always going to be mutating. There's always going to be a new one. It's always going to be there, and this is just, no. It's just unreal how much they're doing this. Countries worldwide have begun advising against foreign travel while ramping up domestic restrictions to battle Omicron and bolstering vaccination efforts. The G7 on Thursday called the variant the biggest threat to global public health, despite the fact there's no proof that this thing is more deadly than any other variant. In fact, there's actually more proof that it's not as deadly. In fact, I've seen some say that this could be the variant that ends it, because it gets so many people, and so many people survive that we, even without vaccinations, hit herd immunity. But they don't want to say that. They continue on by saying the emergence was more important than ever for countries to closely cooperate and share data. Yeah, let's get China in on that. I'm almost positive they're not under 100,000 cases. In a meeting hosted by the group chair, Britain, the country's health ministers emphasized that increasing importance of booster campaigns and regular testing, according to a statement. Biden's warning about the winter came as he urged Americans who have already had 2 shots to get the boosters, and vaccine skeptics to step up and get jabbed. This is the British spelling, not American spelling, in case anybody looks at that and goes, ah, British. They like to spell things differently. The only real protection is to get your shot, he said, with the White House saying the administration did not intend to take specific restrictive measures, but would instead focus on the vaccine. The tools that we have, we know are working, Deputy White House spokesman Karine Jean-Pierre said, adding, we're just going to continue pushing forward to get Americans vaccinated and boosted. This right here is one of the things, I've seen things, read a few things. If this variant does not do what they're saying, it could be a major hit to people's confidence in that we're being told the truth. This next little part, it's reporting at its finest right here. In misdirection. The United States, the hardest hit country in the world, China's not reporting anything, is currently averaging 1,150 COVID deaths per day, according to the figures from Center for Disease Control and Prevention. What they don't tell you is that the U.S. is also the third largest populated country in the world. And again, no, it's one of those things. I'm sorry, no, South Africa, if this thing's as deadly as what they are pushing right here, South Africa would have been devastated. Right now, I think they're averaging, 20 or so deaths a day. It's not spiking at all. British Christmas worries. It was across the Atlantic, however, that the magnitude of the threat was being felt strongest, even as Britain stopped short of imposing formal limits on socializing as the government awaits further evidence of the severity of Omicron. Last year's Christmas celebrations were drastically curtailed after the Alpha variant swept the country. Britons had hoped this year would be different, but cases have again shot up to record levels. There are now fears that the variant could overwhelm hospitals during the festive season, and many Britons are scrambling to change their plans. Queen Elizabeth II canceled her traditional pre-Christmas family lunch next week as precautionary measure, despite Prime Minister Boris Johnson saying such gatherings could still go on ahead. The Premier League on Thursday postponed 6 more football/soccer, for those in America, matches, though it said it intended to continue its current fixture schedule where safely possible. With cases levels exploding in Britain, France on Thursday banned all non-essential travel to and from the UK. From 2300 GTM Friday, travelers will need an essential reason to travel to and or from the UK, both for the unvaccinated and vaccinated. This is one of those things. If the vaccine works so well, and I'm sure people have heard, if it works so well, why are they so... No, I thought the whole point of a vaccine... No, you get the polio vaccine, not in the hopes that you may get it and not get severity. You get the vaccine in the hopes you don't get polio. That's not what this vaccine's even doing anymore. They've completely changed it. No, greater coordination. The Omicron risk also elbowed its way into the EU summit meeting in Brussels on Thursday, with predictions of the variant could become dominant in the bloc as soon as next month. But leaders are struggling to forge a united approach to stop the spread. You're trying to stop the common cold. Really, that's not it. I just don't get this. No, you got the common cold, all this other type of stuff, and we haven't stopped the cold in forever. COVID, we're not going to stop. I'm sorry, the vaccines aren't working. They're not working like we thought they were going to be. It's time for a real treatment. Now, if you go to the doctor, he goes, oh, you got COVID? Here, take this. I'm not hearing that still. Omicron is I can get back to this here. Omicron is of significant concern, obviously, in the terms of capacity of that variant to spread rapidly and create pressure on our societies and our health systems, Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin told journalists in Brussels. So today we'll be looking for greater coordination on a number of fronts. The Spanish government said, meanwhile, that boosters will soon be available for everyone aged 40 and older, down from 65 and older currently. EU drug regulators on Thursday approved the Pfizer COVID-19 pill for emergency use by member states struggling with the new coronavirus wave. Again, this is so much fear-mongering with this. It's just, I don't know. Do you guys see it as fear-mongering? Something else? Wait and see. I don't know. Me personally, it feels more like fear-mongering with everything I've read coming out of South Africa and all that type of stuff, and we'll just wait and see. Now, I'm sure the media will hype every little thing, but let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.